Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. So I'm going to jump right in. So the other day I was watching a bunch of shorts and things on YouTube and whatnot, and I was watching this thing about everybody really freaking out about the SNAP benefits, nobody having any money to feed themselves. And one of the women said, what am I going to do? I only have $1. What am I going to do with $1? Or something like that. So it kind of stuck with me a little bit. What would I do if I only had $1 to feed myself? What would I do? So I started thinking about it. So I decided I was going to go over to Walmart because everybody has a Walmart, and I was going to take me one single dollar. Well, I took more than one single dollar, but you know what I mean. $1. And I wanted to make a meal for myself of $1.
Freeze right there. I am such the overachiever. I intended for these meals to feed one person, one meal. 3 of them fed 2 people.
Now, these meals aren't going to be like, I don't know what word, they're not going to be steak and potatoes, okay? It's just not going to be that. You can't do that with $1. But I further wanted to challenge myself to find something that I would include one fresh produce. Could have been an onion, could have been a green bean, could have been a scallion, could have been anything, but it had to be one thing that came from the produce section. Don't care what it was. To see if I can include something fresh. There's not going to be any meat because you can't get meat with just $1 to feed yourself. So I came up, while I was in there, I came up with 4 ideas on what we could do, and we're going to make those. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's heat up some pots. Come on.
All right, here's everything I got. Each of them have some kind of fresh produce. I told you, it didn't have to be a fantastic meal, just how to have fresh produce. The first meal, I have some cream sour corn. They're on sale for 50 cents. I got 2 small potatoes. I know those go with that because I wrote on each one as I was getting them what the weight was. Can you see that? While I was in there, so I didn't get confused when I got home. So that's meal number 1. Meal number 2 is this ramen, a couple of pieces of broccoli, and a jalapeno. This meal I factored in for 2 packs of ramen. I only put 1 out there because there's no way I can eat 2 of them. So I'm just going to make the 1. Just know that you can have 2. I don't think I added anything extra in there that would bring. So this was like significantly under $1. The next one is the ramen noodle and the potato. I'm going to need some onion flakes with that. And then I got the small, when I tell you this head is tiny, I mean, I can almost palm this whole head of cabbage. So I got that and some macaroni and cheese. Here's the thing with that. I accidentally bought the shells. When I got home, I realized I had the shells and not the, it doesn't really matter. I just prefer the regular kind for what I'm going to make and not the shells. So what I'm going to do is I have a million of these in my pantry. I'm just going to do that box. So when you see me pulling that box out, that's what it is. So they're all 4 of the meals. My only thing that I'm going to be using is very minimal pantry staples. Like I have some soy sauce out. I have some onion flakes, salt and pepper. I'm going to allow myself some kind of a fat and very basic seasonings, like maybe garlic powder, onion powder, something like that, but nothing crazy. So let's get started with the first meal. Meal number 1, potato, corn, chowder. First thing I'm gonna do is dice up those potatoes. All right, so I left these, I washed the potato before I peeled it because I might do a snack with that. I don't know. It's a thought. You could fry them up and make them like chips and just season them however you want, salt and pepper. You could add all kinds of things to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dice this potato up into smallish type pieces. kids upstairs. All right, so something like that. Okay? So about that size. Okay. There you go. Let's move over to the stovetop. All right, so I'm going to add a little olive oil. My freebie. Not a lot. I also forgot to mention that I am going to use 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I was considering not doing it, just using salt and pepper, but this is a way to let you guys know to get some seasons. All right, so you shush that around the pan a little bit. I'll put the potatoes in there. They're already starting to turn that quick. Yikes, that was hot. And we're just going to let these brown a little. We're not going to cook them all the way through. I am going to add a little salt and pepper, just regular salt. Add some pepper. And I'm just going to get a browning on them. All right, so they're starting to brown up a little bit. They're nowhere near done. They're just browning. What we're going to add is the can of cream corn. And this is going to make a lot of food. It's going to make more than I can eat. It might even feed 2. All right. A cup and a half of water or chicken bouillon. Oh darn, I meant to put some of that inside the can. Oh well. We're gonna let this simmer for about 15 minutes or so and let the potatoes get softened. You can thicken this by mashing some of the potatoes once it's done. I will be adding a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. All right, while that's boiling, I'm just gonna put a tester in there. I wanna wait until that starts sizzling. That's just a little bit of olive oil, and I have some potato skins. That's frying. We're just gonna take the potato skins and just let them fry up. And as soon as they get like a chip, we'll take them out and we'll throw some salt on them. All right, I'm gonna take these out and throw some salt on them, put the rest in. Just add a little bit of salt to them, and booyah, got yourself a snack. And these are done. All right, it's a little hot, can't put it down. I'm just gonna sprinkle some salt on there. These taste really good, in my opinion, with some ranch dressing. I'm just gonna put them in a bowl and shake them around with the others. All right, these are done. If you have some heavy whipping cream or some milk, feel free. I did not have it in the budget of $1, so we just went with what we had. I'm gonna taste this real quick because I have added nothing but salt and pepper. So let me get a quick taste and see if we need to add onion powder, garlic powder, or pepper, whatever. It's actually not bad because the cream corn that I bought sweetened it up. So I'm just gonna add, it doesn't need any salt. I had enough. Oh, am I adding the salt? Oh no, that's pepper. I'm gonna add some pepper to taste. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder. You don't need it, I'm just adding it. I came up with this recipe in the store. Just a little bit of garlic, not a lot, because I'm heavy-handed with the garlic. Woo! Almost just dropped it right in here. Let me put it in my hand. Just a little bit. Now, if you want this thicker, mash a couple of those potatoes. I actually might do that. Just smash some down. There we go. And we're just going to let that take a fork. They still have a little bit of bite left to them. There's enough in this pot. It's a pretty decent sized pot. There's enough for 2 bowls. Unless you're a big eater. I'll plate them up and show you how much it made. I want you to see how hearty it's thickening up. It didn't need the milk. I've never made this for Eric before. All right, Eric, first thing I want you to do is, now what I did with this, these little things right here, that's the skins to the potato that I put in there. I fried, they might be a little salty, but give it a go. Take a taste, tell me what you think about it. Is that good?
Yeah.
Tastes like a potato chip and a french fry, right?
Yeah.
A nice little crunch. Oh,
Sorry about that.
that's all right. All right. Take a bowl. I made all of this if I only had $1 to eat. One meal. This is making more than one. This is a potato corn chowder.
All right.
Look how hearty that is. I'm afraid I'm going to burn the mess out of my mouth, though. Hold on. Are you ready? All right, let's go. It's sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I'm digging it. It's going to be filling. Can you believe I made potato chips and 2 bowls of soup with $1?
With $1?
Actually, it's less than $1. I had change left over after this one. All the meals I had change left over.
That's crazy.
I know. Hey, when you grow up poor, you figure things out.
These are really good too.
I see you eating them all. All right. I'll see you in the next one. All right, here we go. For this meal, it'll be 2 packs of ramen noodles. That's why I'm saying these meals can feed 2. You're going to need some soy sauce, maybe onion powder, garlic powder. I have the broccoli and the jalapeno in the back. And if using the soy sauce is considered a cheat, I don't know what cheat at what. Cheat at being poor, I don't know. I have bags and bags of like takeout stuff. So a couple of random packages of soy sauce will do you just fine. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start right at the stove. All right, I lied. I have some chopping to do. I stuck my broccoli in some water, and I put a little bit of vinegar in there. It gets out all the icky ooze in there, if there's any bugs or anything like that in there. I see things floating, but that's just pieces of broccoli. So I'm just going to take that out, and we're going to start chopping it up. All right, so we're going to use the stem and all. Everything I have here, we're using. I'm just going to cut off that one little tiny end right there. I don't know why. I feel like I need to cut the little end off. Just kind of like it's dried out a little bit or something. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to break this down. And then we're just going to chop it up. The stems, I'm going to do like little pieces like this. Now, if you're just cooking for yourself and you use one, you have quite a bit of money left. I still have 5 cents left in the budget using 2 packs. I could have gotten like a little bit more broccoli or, you know, whatever, but I was afraid I was going to go over. So I'm just going to take that like that. So I'm just going to chop that up. I forgot to mention this. When I bought this broccoli, I didn't just like find random pieces. I took a head of broccoli and just broke some off. They said I could. I asked if it was all right to do. They said, yeah, it's by the pound. So don't think you have to look for like the teeniest of tiny. You see one? Grab a piece off. That's what I did. Okay. I think that's good. I'm going to put that in the bowl, and then we're going to chop up that jalapeno. I'm sorry if that was a little dark. I had moved the lighting over. I can't believe I'm going to do this jalapeno. I think I'm going to do half of it. I am not... ketchup is spicy to me. So... just don't touch your face, Tina. Don't touch your face. And I'm going to de-seed this best I can. All right, and I already washed it, so I don't have to worry about that. And I think I'm going to do it teeny tiny because I'm a sissy. Eric's already circling. He's like, how long is it going to take for you to cook? I want to taste it. All right, let's move on over to the stove. I'm going to wash my hands. All right, I have 2 cups of cold water. That's important. That's half the amount of water that's required to make it. And the reason I want it cold is because I'm going to add the broccoli, and I want to get it to a boil, so I don't want to cook out a lot of the water. So we're going to start by adding some broccoli in there and giving it a boil. All right, so that's boiling. It's softened slightly. I'm going to add the ramen noodles without the flavor pack. And we're going to try and like break it down, let it soak in this water so I don't have to add extra. I'm really scared to add that jalapeno, y'all. I feel like I can't do it. I don't know. We'll see. Let me try and soften this down a little bit. I'm going to put a lid on it and let it soften down. All right, so it's softened up. I'm going to break it apart. I mean, you could make the noodles in a separate pot and then put it in here, but I think this will just take me just a few minutes longer, but it'll be fine. See, it's already coming apart. There we go. I'm keeping the water at a minimum, and I'm just moving the noodles around because I don't want a lot of water in here. And whatever boiled out, I want still there. As soon as that water's out, we're going to add some flavor into the pan. Water's nearly out. What I did was I took some of the onion flakes, about 1.5 tablespoons, and I just added 1.5 tablespoons of warm water and got some onion. That's where I'm getting my onion from. I'm going to add 1 of the flavor packs. And I have this as low as my stove will go. I'm going to add 1 of the flavor packs. Just don't want it to be too salty. I really can't do that jalapeno. I might let one of the kids try, but I ate a teeny tiny piece and it's just too spicy for me. All right, a couple of dashes of soy sauce. This is low sodium. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder, even though we added onion. This is the finest, like, it's almost like dust, this onion powder. A little bit of garlic. If you had some garlic, that would be good, but it's not in my dollar budget. We're just going to mix that up and see if we need any more soy, if we need anything else. I wish I could have thrown some of that cabbage from that other meal in here, but I can't. I know there's more than enough for that meal. I think this needs just a touch more of the soy. All right, I'll do it, y'all. I'll add a quarter of the pepper in there. I can't do the heat. All right. Gonna add some pepper. Not a lot because I'm scared of the jalapeno. All right, I'm gonna give that a good mix and I think we're gonna be eating. That's done. Well, that made 2 decent sized bowls. I couldn't do the jalapeno. Aiden came down and ate a piece and said, "What are you talking about, Grandma?" I don't know, I'm a sissy. I'm gonna put some parsley on that just for color and then I'll be back to taste it. Eric said he's gonna eat his with a little bit of the jalapeno on it. I'm not doing it, I'm a sissy. All right, Eric took the other bowl. I'm gonna take it with a little bit of, he has the jalapeno on his. I'm gonna take some of the broccoli. What'd you say?
I said, yeah.
Oh. Let's give it a go. See what it tastes like.
All right.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go. Mmm.
Mm.
That's good.
Mm.
That's not bad at all.
That's really good.
Mine's not spicy. Is yours spicy?
No.
He said no. I don't believe him. All right. Well, I'm going to eat this, and I'll see you on my next one. All right, here we go. This dish is called cabbage mac and cheese skillet. So first thing we're going to do is chop up that tiny, tiny head of cabbage. I forgot to tell you, I am still switching that macaroni and cheese out to the other kind of pasta shape. When I tell you this cabbage is small, it's small, like pretty darn small. So I'm just gonna, all right, that wasn't so bad. I wonder how much of this is gonna have a core. Oh, it's not bad at all. Where is the stem? Right there, that little bit. How about that? All right, I guess there's no real way to chop it up. I mean, I came up with this at the store. I'm gonna dice it up just like that and maybe cut it in half. And then we're gonna get it soaking in some water. Now, the cabbage cooks down, but when you separate all the pieces, it looks like a lot. Don't think you have too much. So I'm just gonna unlayer these so that when I soak it in water, so there's any bugs or any dirt or sand, anything in there. All right, onward, forward. All right. All right, so I cut up all the cabbage. These pieces over here are the real thick pieces. When I cook with cabbage that it's thick, I just dice it up real tiny like that and I add it in. So it'll cook up the same way the other ones will, and then you don't have to get rid of that much of your cabbage. So, and you don't have to cook it super long when this is mush and this isn't ready. All right, so I'm gonna rinse that off and then I'm gonna meet you at the stove. All right, I have the pasta water cooking just over there for the macaroni. I'm gonna take a little bit of this olive oil and put it in the bottom. I'm gonna turn my pan down, I was making it hot. It's just to get it started because it's gonna make its own liquid. And then we're gonna add the cabbage to this. In she goes. All right, this is what I have handy. Oops. Oh, we went underneath. Not getting that one back. I prefer to use seasoned salt in here. But since we're doing this dollar thing, I'm gonna just use regular salt and pepper. So some pepper. Okay, and we're just gonna put a lid on this and let it start making some liquid. When the pasta water boils, I'm just gonna cook the pasta and then that's it. I'm not gonna mix the cheese or anything. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. Yep, got some liquid in there. And we're just going to keep letting this soften down. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic and onion just because that's how I do. Just a sprinkle. If you don't have it, salt and pepper's fine. But since I have it, it might even be a problem because I don't know what it's going to taste like with the macaroni and cheese. All right, let's keep it going. I think we're about done with the cabbage. Ooh, that steam got me. Oh, good thing. Running out of liquid. All right, let's see if these are tender enough. If not, I'll add a little splash of some water in there. I'm gonna add some seasoned salt. It just does something to cabbage for me that I like. Just a little bit. Salt and pepper is fine for most people. I eat cabbage often, and I prefer the seasoned salt over table salt. All right. This is done. It still has a little bit of liquid in the bottom. That's okay. It'll help when we mix the macaroni and cheese through. The pasta is ready. I told you this was done already. I just let it sit for a minute. To the cabbage, we're going to add 1 box of the pasta. I slightly undercooked it because I wanted a little bit of a bite. Gonna give that a mix. It's looking awful pale, isn't it? It's all right though. I'm not gonna add any salt because I salted the cabbage. And we're gonna add some cheese. I have some starchy water, but I want to see if I need it first. I reserved some from cooking. I'm gonna take the cheese powder. I was going to say powdered cheese, and that's the same thing as cheese powder. It got me confused on which one to say. All right. Yeah, we need a little bit. All right, so I got a little ramekin. That'll work. A couple of tablespoons of the starchy water. Turn that, that's as low as it can go. Gotta mix that right around. All right, so it looks a little yellow, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So just to give it a little color, it's got plenty of taste. It doesn't look like there's a lot of cheese in there. I was concerned about that, but there's enough cheese that you taste the cheese, and there's enough little cheese in there that you can taste the cabbage. If that makes any sense. And I'm just going to add a little bit of paprika, give it a little bit of color, wake her up, and then I'm going to stir it up and plate it up. I might even sprinkle a little more then, or some parsley. But this is going to make two servings, easy 2 servings, depending on how big you eat. All right, I'll meet you at the plate. I cannot believe that is 90 cents in that pot. Like I tell you all the time, this is my biggest pot. That is 14 inches across. I don't want to put my arm on it because it'll burn me. Here's my elbow to almost here. So that's going to easy feed 2 people. I don't know. It would feed me 4 times, but all right, let me plate that up and we'll see what it tastes like. That made a lot of food. That'll be very filling. Again, made enough for 2. Eric can't eat this. I forgot to pull some out for him before I added the cheese, so he's going to have something else tonight. I have Tyler and Aiden who want to take a taste and see what it's like. All right, I have Tyler and Aiden down to taste with me. I'm just going to give it a mix. I got the cabbage. I just sprinkled some parsley on just for a picture. I'm ready. You guys ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Like it?
It was amazing.
That's really good. Just enough cheese for the macaroni and not enough that it kills the cabbage. Oh, yeah. It's good, right? All right. I'll see you in the next one. All right. I have a feeling this is just going to make enough for one based on the other 3 meals, how they went. But I think I did a great job. The last 3 meals for less than $1 fed 2 people. So I'm pretty impressed with myself right now. So let's move on to the next one. First thing I'm going to do is, I've already washed that potato. I'm going to peel it and just cube it up. So I'm just going to cube up this potato. I don't know if you need to watch me do that, but just same as I did the first one. And I'm going to, oh, that was kind of skinny, but they're going to be about like this size, but thicker because I cut that piece too skinny. Small cubes. All right, so I'm coming down the home stretch on this half. You could cook this in the microwave if you want to soften them up a little bit to get them started. I really feel like I like mine just cooked in a frying pan. It takes a little longer, but I like the result of the potato in the end. Right? Like I did with the first one, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil in here. And we're going to crisp up these potatoes. Got to give that a few minutes to start to cook. I'm going to add some of the seasoned pack in here. Maybe about half of it. Season up the potatoes. Or you could use the salt and pepper. All right, these are just about done. We're going to add a little water to the pan, so I don't want to cook them all the way done. But they do have a nice little browning on them. Got to leave that oil in the pan, and we're going to add the ramen noodles. I'm going to break the pack in half. And we're going to add just enough water to kind of finesse it like I did the other ones. Just enough to finesse it. Just keep moving it in the water. All right. They're starting to cook down. Gonna add the rest of the seasoning pack to this. And I think I might add just a little bit of paprika because these things look like they need something. Woo! Gotta add a little pepper. I'm gonna add a little paprika. Nothing else but color, because it's, you eat with your eyes first, right? Don't want to add any salt until I taste it because I had that ramen pack in there. That's that. I might add a little bit of water here because it's starting to stick a little bit. Just a splash. All right, once I'm done mixing this up, we should be ready to eat. All right, that's done. You could brown up the potatoes a little bit more if you like, but I'm hungry and I'm ready. That's good enough for me. All right, there it is. Like I said, that would probably only make a portion for one, but if you had an extra 36 cents and threw an extra one in there, you'd have a serving for 2. However, Eric is down here. He does want to taste it, so he's going to get a taste of it. And so am I, and you can get an honest reaction out of him. All right, hold that, Eric.
All right.
I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm not even sure what it tastes like.
Smells good.
Yeah, it's got that chicken. This is the ramen noodles that you can eat, and that obviously because I'm feeding it to you. And it has that chicken pack in it, and then just some pepper. I put paprika in it just for color, and that's that. All right, wait. Let me see if it's too hot. I did just make it. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Let's give it a taste.
Mmm.
That's really good. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of home fries a little bit, but something else I can't think. Want another taste?
Yeah.
And the pasta has enough bite in it that you got some chew. It's not all mush. You hear him? He says, "No, Eric, tell me what you really think."
That's really good.
It is good. All right. Well, that's the last one. So I enjoyed them all. Eric, other than the last one, because you couldn't have that, which one was your favorite?
Honestly, that potato skin, that was really good.
You like the side dish, the fried potato skins, right?
That was really good. But
Yeah.
honestly, whatever that soupy thing is that I had with the potatoes and the corn.
Oh, the
that
corn
was
chowder.
good. Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good because there was very little in it. I like them all. I don't know which one would be my favorite. Probably the cabbage one because I like cabbage, but you have to use enough of the seasoned salt to get rid of the bitter taste. But other than that, there you have it. I hope you try them. I hope you like them. Leave me a comment either way. See you later. Bye.
Bye.